In a post-apocalyptic world, laid threadbare by the sonic onslaught of Jimi Hendrix, there lived one man, and one man alone, who would carry the torch to wield a Stratocaster and continue on the path of righteous sonic destruction. He was the bridge between 60s psychedelia and R&B, let's get down to business with the ladies. And of course that man was Ernie Isley. Ernie Isley's loose, bluesy style is a style unto itself. Much like Al Di Meolo's alternate picking or Alan Holdsworth's legato. It's bona fide, it's cool, it's loose, it's slippery, and it's soulful. So here's the thing, if you were a teenager and you were interested in playing guitar, and it was like the mid-1970s, you were probably listening to Ernie Isley, because that was like the hip music that was going on. And Ernie Isley was playing the hell out of the guitar with the Isley Brothers on some big hits. You know, Fight the Power, Who's That Lady, all those great songs. And so that's who you're listening to. Hendrix was like the generation before. If you were a black teenager with an afro and you wanted to play guitar, you were stealing his licks. You were stealing all those Ernie Isley licks, and you had a Strat, and you had a phaser, and you had a fuzz, and you had a wah, and you went to town. So pick up some Afro Sheen, pick out your afros, tune up your Strat, and let's go. We're going to get into some Ernie Isley. This is actually the coolest part of the song. We're in C minor, and we're going to start with a C minor 7th chord, and we're going to add these little licks that we used to do back. If you remember my other video, we talked about Nile Rodgers. Nile Rodgers did the same thing. Ernie Isley does it, but different. We're talking C minor 7th to F minor 7th. You know that chord form. It's like that. We got a bar here. Our middle finger is hitting the 4th fret. We skip a string with our ring finger and go to the D string on the 5th fret, and then we get that. So isn't that pretty? And then we're going to take the whole thing up and go to F minor 7th. Can you dig it? I hope you can. So that's basically the chords of the song. C minor 7th, F minor 7th. And now we're just going to add some chordal ornamentation. This gives us an 11th, and we're going to just use our pinky to go from the B string to the G string. Here, the pinky goes from the 6th to the 5th on the next string, and then it does the same thing in F. Now, the hardest part is getting the feel for that. So Ernie takes this post-Hendrix style that has been played through rock and psychedelic rock and put it into R&B. So he's introducing fuzz and rock, and he's putting it into a whole new context. So people who have never heard rock solos before are now hearing it because it's R&B. All that's left is 2 chords. A flat major to B flat major. Now you can play them with normal major bar chords, which you already know how to play. I'm just going to show you where it is. We're on the 4th fret of a major chord, as you know how to play. And there's different ways to play that. Hendrix style would be like this, where you use your thumb around the neck and you're hitting that note, which is the 4th fret. And then there's a little section at the end. And so the whole thing sounds like this.
because you wear Michael Jordan shoes doesn't mean you can play like Michael Jordan.
Alright, so in the very beginning of that, Ernie is doing this lead intro to the main lick, and it goes like this. So he's on the 13th fret and the 11th fret, and that's the box just above your pentatonic shape. Got that cool. So once again, I'll play it slower. So now we get to the lead break, or that lead main figure that makes the song what it is. Alright, and Ernie's all about the fluidity and soul. Now if you notice, when you listen to the original recording, which you should always do, notice the slight vibrato that he has. Just gives us some soul, and he takes his time. It's not a fast song, so it's nice, even, smooth tempo, and that allows him to take his time, and you can really hear the flavor of his notes. His soulful licks came from the underbelly of the black experience. Soul gone crazy. Can you dig it? I'm sure you can. So one of the things he does is a hammer-on lick that you've probably heard in a bazillion songs, but nobody does it quite like Ernie, and it's just a hammer-on where he's at the 8th fret in the C minor box, and he's going, and he's just hammering on from the 8th to the 11th, and then he hits on C, which is our root. That's the high string on the high E 8th fret, and he goes. Now you can use that everywhere on the neck. It's a kind of physicality that you can do on the fretboard that you can use everywhere. And if of course you've probably heard Santana do the same idea on other strings, for example. That's cool too. So you take an idea and run with it. But Ernie does it like this. Santana, same idea, different note choice. It all sounds cool. You owe it to yourself to check out the Isley Brothers. They're one of the great American bands, and particularly Ernie Isley. Bad dude. He's a bad dude. You gotta check him out. Also, check out the rest of my series. We're gonna have some more Ernie Isley stuff, and you're gonna really dig it. Also, check out my interview with Ernie Isley in an upcoming issue of Vintage Guitar Magazine. It's really cool. You'll get a lot out of it. My name is Oscar Jordan. Come visit me at oscarjordan.com. Take it easy, but take it.